Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of Modifix. My name's Dan, and today you probably see the title of the video already, right? I bought myself an S2000. So I could have put a title in the video saying the cheapest S2000 in the world, but it actually wasn't that cheap. It was cheap for today's market, and it didn't come with a hard top. I just bought that hard top separately. But this car is in pretty poor condition. I will reveal the price to you later on, but for now, let me just give you a quick walk around. So as you can see, headlights are discolored. That's no big surprise or big job. That's quite easy for me. There's a nice dent in this wing, scuff on the bumper. In fact, I don't think there's a panel on the car that isn't damaged. There's some weird chippiness going on here, all down the door, down here. I don't know how clearly that's coming across on camera, but you can see it. There's chips here, there's little dingy bits there. There's chips all down the quarter here and on the door. There's a light scratch there that might polish out. And then there's a dong here, and then it only gets better around the rear. So the rear bumper has got a gouge in it there, and it's quite bad. The rear boot lid has been smashed, and it's got a nice big dent in it there. Brake light smashed. The bumper again, it's in very poor condition. The cap's missing for the tow eye. This side of the bumper, not too bad. You've got a little scratch there. And then you've got this side of the quarter panel, which is, I don't know what's happened here. So it looks like there was some sort of localized damage and somebody's done a horrendous repair of it. But I don't know what to make of this. I'm a bit worried about it, to be honest, but I've had a look underneath and there doesn't seem to be any severe rust, so that's really good. But we'll only really find out when I remove the bumper, so we'll do that. So that's this quarter panel, not the greatest. There's a little dent in this fuel filler cap as well. Little dent there, little dent there. As you can see, the hard top's got dents in it as well, but I got it for a decent price, so I'm not too bothered about that. And then this door might actually be one of the cleanest panels on the car. So it's still got a dent in it here. You'll probably see that. And a little scratch, scuff down the bottom. But apart from that, this door is quite clean actually. It's probably the cleanest panel on the car. This wing is my favorite. So it's got a nice rusty dong there. And it's got a nice big crunch over here. So that wing definitely has to go. And then this bumper again, all scuffed on this side. You'd think this car's been banger racing, wouldn't you? And then all discoloured paint all down the top there. So this bumper will definitely need painting or replacing. The wings will need painting or replacing. Oh, didn't show you the bonnet. So the bonnet is actually very clean, no dents on it at all. There is a little bit of surface rust there, but apart from that, not bad. So that's generally the car. The other thing is the roof. So I can't show you the roof right now. I haven't got a spare set of hands to help me lift this off. I did actually put this on the car myself, which was an absolute nightmare, and I don't want to risk smashing that window. So when I do take it off, I'll show you the soft top. The soft top is also torn, which is no good. Mirror has been changed for some peculiar reason to a black one. So that will need addressing. Then let's get to the roof. The roof is beautiful and crusty and disgusting. Look how dirty that is. Looks like this car might have been parked under a tree for a little while. But anyway, it looks like someone's attempted to clean it a little bit. So that's what the colour of the roof should be. And that's what it is. It's got mould everywhere. It's got a massive hole in it here where someone's bodged it with some sort of felt. It looks like roofing felt or something. Don't look too clever. This is ripped here as well. This has come away here as well, and it's full of the earth. I should say mechanically this car doesn't seem too bad. I mean, I've driven it and there are some horrendous problems which I'll show you in a minute, but overall, I mean, if you look at the brake discs, for example, they're not scored, they're just like got surface rust on them. And the same with the front ones as well, and there's plenty of meat on the pads as well by the looks of it, so it does look like it's had some maintenance in the past. The previous two owners bought this car to sell it or to steal parts off it and then sell whatever was left, and as a result I got a decent deal, I guess, but that's why it's in the state that it is. If you look at the inside, not so bad. The inside is actually pretty decent. The previous owner did say he cleaned the carpet and he took the seats out to do it, so maybe the carpets were disgusting, I don't know, but generally not bad in here. A lot of blue, but I don't mind the blue actually. Not my favourite colour, but it's not bad. Don't know what this is for, probably an old school hands-free or a mic or something, or a charger. Dash cam maybe. But everything seems in order generally here. There's a gouge in the door card here. The steering wheel actually sits upside down. That's almost straight actually. Let me show you straight. Straight is ridiculous. So that's... So straight is there. And then the clutch pedal, it engages really high, so it feels like the clutch is out, but we might have a trick for that. And what else? Let me show you under the bonnet. So under the bonnet then, it all looks quite sanitary under here, to be honest. It's all a bit dirty and grubby, but generally it's okay. I've checked the oil as well and it's reasonably clean. Let me just show you that. It's not terrible. It's not black like you'd expect it to be. So the car hasn't been neglected as bad as it may seem. So that is quite golden. It's not black. So that's not too bad. And the oil level seems okay as well. I had to stick a brand new battery on it because the car, believe it or not, came with a no battery. So that's how much the previous owners had off the car. The oil filter, you can see down there, it's dusty, but it doesn't look really old, which is quite good. And it's blueprint. In fact, whilst we're here, let's check the brake fluid. So the brake fluid is very dirty, so I'll be replacing that and flushing it through. Let's get that back on. Clutch fluid isn't probably much different, to be honest. Let's have a look. Yeah, that's very black. In fact, yeah, anyway, we'll leave that for now, but I am going to suck that out and maybe bleed it as well. And we'll have to check the condition of the master cylinder because that clutch pedal is very high. As you can probably see, the rocker cover needs a bit of love. That's horrendous, dirty, flaky, whatever you want to call it. Let's have a look at this air filter actually. This will be the first time I'm looking at it, same time as you. The auxiliary belt actually doesn't look too bad. It doesn't look crusty. It looks okay, like it might have been done quite recently, and it looks like a good quality belt as well. I think so. This was a 3-owner car. I think I'm the 5th owner on it, and I think it was a 3-owner car before the 2 flippers bought it, or a 2-owner car even. I think the original owner probably fell out of love with it, and if you look at the key here, apparently the keys were in a house fire. The other one's even worse. It's like really crusty. So I don't know whether the previous owner thought this was a bad omen car or what, and just fell out of love with it, and hence the condition. And then obviously the vultures that got their hands on it after that just wanted to make a quick buck or two. But anyway, so I don't know how this comes off actually. How does it come off? Maybe this comes off there. Right. Ah, there you go. So the air filter in here, also reasonably clean. So it's not terrible at all. You know, that's actually a blessing. I think the engine has been looked after, but the vultures that got hold of the car after to sort of sell it on or whatever, unfortunately have messed around with it. The other thing I wanted to show you, let me just right, so we got under the car now, and as you can see, somebody's gone to the effort of cutting off the cat, welding in a flexi, and putting in a cheap sports cat. And it's really badly done as well from what I can see, and I can hear a blow. So all of this exhaust system is going to have to get changed at some point, which is a shame. I think somebody nicked the cat out of it to make a quick buck. I don't know whether it got cut off and that's why the car was cheap to start with, or whether the previous owners just decided to nick the cat off it. I think the cats on these are worth about 600 odd quid. Correct me if I'm wrong down in the comments, but I think they are about that. So today I'm going to try and address some of the annoying problems. So like the high clutch pedal, and I just want to find out why this steering is sitting at a weird angle. Also, check this out. Hey, how has that fixed itself? That's very odd. I thought that was broken. It was broken the other day. I think it might be something to do with the steering wheel and the squib, I think. So let me investigate the steering wheel first, I think. So one of the first things we're going to do is sort out this wonky steering wheel. There's two covers, one on this side and one on the other side here. And under those you've got a Torx, which I believe is a T30. So I'm going to undo those to remove the horn, and then I'll show you what's under here. And just look at that, that's straight on, yeah? Look at the steering wheel. Right here, that's the two screws out. They were T30, and now the horn should come away. I must advise, oh fucking hell, did you see that spider just come out of there? Excuse my French. Anyway, so I must advise you to remove the battery before you do this, because if the airbag decides to explode in your face, then that's on you. So yeah, just make sure you undo the battery. The other thing is that if you don't undo the battery, when you try and undo those little Torxy bits, it kind of pulls the horn, the airbag inwards, and as a result sounds the horn, which is very annoying. Right, next we've got that 14mm in the middle. So what you want to do is get your ugger dugger on there if you've got one. If you haven't, then you're gonna have to do that with a long ratchet with a long bar on it, and you'll have to hold the steering wheel whilst you do it. A little bit annoying, but you can do it. That was absolute piss. This gun is unbelievable. I love it. But anyway, so that's that bolt off. Now what you want to do is wiggle the steering wheel and get it off. So let me just, I think the steering wheel's been off and that's why it's upside down, but not sure why or how or who or when or any of that. So now I'll need two hands for this, so I'm just going to do that quickly, and then if there's anything to tell you about, I'll tell you about it. Oh, I'm just going to disconnect this horn and get it out of the way because it's just dangling at the moment. I keep saying horn, but the airbag. Just going to disconnect that and get it out of the way. Right, so that was a bit of a bugger. I was trying to get it out from the middle here and it just didn't want to know. So what I ended up doing was undoing this yellow clip. It all sits in there. You have to sort of pull it out, and then this thing here pulls back on itself. If I can demonstrate that, like that, and then the other one pops out, and that is the airbag out the way. Heavy old beast that is. Right, now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wind in the original bolt, a couple of winds, and then I'll pull this steering wheel off. Yeah, I need two hands for that. Okay, that's just popped. Now I'm going to take this off all of the way, take it out, and I'm on the floor, steering wheel off. Right, this is rather bizarre actually, but anyway, let me investigate and then I'll get back to you. Right, so what I did there was I pulled the steering wheel away and then I rotated the squib with the steering wheel. The squib actually fits into the steering wheel, and then once I found what looked straight, that isn't actually straight, it's probably one spline pissed still, but I'm just gonna have a look at the wheels now straighten it up, and then plug all this back in. There's a squib behind here. Actually, let me just show you. Right, so as you can see, that's the squib there. It's got 2 prongs that stick out and something that says top. So make sure the top's straight, and then the 2 little prongies. 2 little prongies go in those holes, 1 and 2, yeah. And you can't really get it wrong, but you don't want to get it wrong, put it that way. Okay, it's quite important that once you've removed and refitted your steering wheel, you just check that this cancellation works. So you turn left, go straight again, that's cancelled. Turn right, go straight, and that's cancelled, yeah. So that's good. I don't know why, but the last time I was in this car, this stalk was really floppy. It was just flopping about. And I bought a new one to replace it. Well, a new to me anyway. But it looks like it's repaired itself. So if anybody knows what happened to that, or if theirs has done the same thing, do let me know, because it's very weird. But anyway, back onto the steering wheel. The steering wheel is now straight. The wheels are straight, as you can see there. And we're all good. So I'm just going to put the horn back in now, plug it all back in, bolt it all back in, and that's it. That's the steering wheel done. One job ticked off the list. Right, so that's the steering wheel all done and back together, and nice and straight now. I don't have to feel like an idiot driving this car. And weird, that's fixed itself. So anyway, next thing, let's have a look at this clutch pedal, because the bite is really high, as I may have mentioned before. So there's about that much travel. There's a bolt that can sort of deal with that, so we'll adjust that. The stopper, I think it's called. And then in terms of the bite, it doesn't actually bite until it's right near the top. So what I'm going to try and do is wind in the clutch master rod. So I believe it's a 12mm nut. Let me see if I can show you anything. It's bloody nightmare trying to get down there. But yeah, so you see that rod? That has a 12mm locking nut on it. So I've got to crack that off, wind the rod into the pedal to make it a bit shorter, and then that should pull it further, in theory, if that makes sense. Maybe I don't know what I'm chatting about. Alright guys, I've just removed the seat because getting to that clutch pedal was proving a nightmare, and now I can actually show you. Probably still quite tight in here actually. Let me move some stuff out of the way. So as you can probably see now, there is a rod there. There should be a nut behind it, which is there, I think. So I'm going to crack that nut off and then turn that rod inwards, so further that way, so that when this is pressed it pulls a bit further. Yeah, and then you see that stopper bolt at the top. I'm going to crack that off and wind it down and get rid of some of this play, because as you can see here, look how high the pedal is compared to the brake pedal. So we're going to bring that down a bit, yeah. Cool, so let's do that. Okay, as you can see, we probably can't. I've adjusted the stopper now, so there's a lot less play in that pedal, and the pedal sits a lot lower now, so it's more in line with the brake. I've also adjusted the cylinder, the master cylinder. So what I'm going to do now is just check to see if it's actually improved the biting point, because before you had to release the whole pedal to get it to actually move. So I cracked the nut and I wound the rod further into the pedal, if that makes sense, so that when it pulls upwards it's pulling more. I think that makes sense. So I'm going to try it now. Right, so I've got the car running, but as you can see now, bite's about there. It's about just above halfway up now. That's really, really good. A lot better. So I'm happy with that. Okay, so that's the steering wheel sorted, clutch pedal sorted, indicators seem to have fixed themselves. So I think we're alright in here now. So next jobs Next jobs, I think we're going to start paneling. So I think I've got the boot coming tomorrow, so I might just change that because that should be nice and quick and easy. And I want to see how much better everything lines up, because that has had a good old knock there, and as a result it's lifted here, but the lines generally look okay. So, and I've had a good look in the boot, and everything's okay in there. So tomorrow when that boot arrives, I'll switch that over first. I have got another bumper for it, but I don't really want to take the bumper off yet because I don't know what I'm going to discover under there. So what we'll do is we'll do the boot, and then we'll do these wings. So we'll do that wing and that wing. So that will mean bumper off, both wings off, and then take it from there. But for now I'm going to put the seat back in. Right guys, I think that's enough for this episode as an introduction and as a quick few jobs. Hope you enjoy the video, and plenty more content to come on the S2000. Do subscribe if you enjoy the content, and give us a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.